I just had the weirdest thought. I was sitting here eating, and I'm not a vegan at all. But at the end of the day, hear me out. Just hear me out. I'm absolutely not a vegan. I'm literally eating fucking lamb right now with an egg, fucking breakfast sandwich. And I eat beef like 4 times a week. Here, let me just prove I'm not a vegan by showing you my deep freezer. Look at that. So many different types of meat. Literally goat. Just was eating lamb. Fish for the pescatarians. Chicken. Fucking beef. A whole goat neck. I'm not a vegan. But listen to me with what I'm about to say. A cow. You look at a cow. You think maybe we shouldn't be eating cows. And once you interact with them, I think you'll understand. It's more like this. If you haven't met a cow in real life, if you've never been around cows in real life, then I would understand why you would hear what I said about not eating cows and you wouldn't care. You would be like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go eat me a quarter pounder right now just because you said that. I understand how it's aggravating or upsetting if you've never encountered a cow. But if you have lived with cows, just interacted with cows, then I can understand why you would be like, I'm never eating a cow again. Because let me give you this example. You have your dog at home, your pet dog, or your friend's pet dog. Maybe even for a while you didn't like dogs, but then you finally got a dog and you instantly fell in love. You're like, I know why they love dogs. Now, when I show a person a video of cows being slaughtered at a slaughterhouse and being converted into the product, the byproducts, some people are disgusted and they're like crying and they're like, oh, what is happening? Not all of them are vegans. Not all of them even have like some sentiment or have ever been exposed to this type of stuff. But they look at it and they're like, Jesus Christ. They just see those lives being turned into something that's not alive. It really devastates them. It scares them. It's one of the harshities of reality that we are contributing to some air quotations form of suffering. And so it upsets these people. And we look at those people and when you're in the classroom being exposed to these videos, you don't have the audacity to sit there and laugh. But like on the internet, we make fun of these people. All right, what are you protesting? Why are you sitting out there in the street blocking the street when literally this is just commuters going to work, those type of sentiments. But then there's people who like raid a facility and they like get the facility shut down. Well, sometimes they raid a facility that is not it's not like a bad facility as far as the conditions of which those animals are living in. Like there's chicken farm where they're free range, and then there's chicken farm where they're all fucking 1 foot of space for their whole entire life. Anyway, all I'm saying is, you look at those people, they get made fun of. And you don't understand it because you've never encountered a cow. But now you have your pet dog that you love so much. We show you the videos of like in China or in Africa, not China, in Asia, in Africa, where there's meat markets for dogs. And there's literally like a dog tied up, binded, like how you would bind a hog after a hog hunt. And they just have it right there in the meat market, about to eat it. Now, we look at them as Westerners and we say, what? That's so cruel. That's so odd. That's so disturbing that you would overlook the relationship that you could have with a dog, that you would overlook all that personality, all the character of a dog and decide to eat it. But really, we're the weirdos for putting that personality and character in them, because they live with cows and dogs and eat cows and dogs. We live with cows and dogs, but we decided that the dogs and the cats are somehow a different life form than the cows. It doesn't make sense. If you've ever worked with cows, if you've ever even just watched cows interacting with each other, or thought about the brain capacity that's implied by the size of their brain and like the different cortexes of their brain, like being enlarged, literally just the whole entire thing relatively being, I don't know. It's odd because you look at cows and they literally can be just like dogs. If you had a calf, if I gave you a baby calf, a little calf, you would raise it up and it would practically just act like your dog. And you really would fall in love with it just like the same way you fell in love with your dog. It's really weird because I show you the videos of the dogs being slaughtered and you're like, you're fucking crying and you're devastated. The same way that you laughed at those vegans who were crying and devastated watching all the chickens and pigs and cows getting slaughtered. Okay, here's a better example because some people will try to argue or refute that a dog is as smart as a cow or that a cow is as smart as a dog. Well, a pig, there's no doubt, like epistemologically, as far as research goes, pigs are arguably smarter than dogs. Arguably. And if not smarter, they're on the same level of intelligence. As far as you training a pig, you could do all of the disability trainings for a pig, and a pig could perform them better. As far as a memory test or a puzzle, a pig's gonna do it better than a dog. Overall, the social life of a pig is more intertwined with being social than a dog. Like wild pigs have much larger families, and they're always exposed to that social aspect as opposed to wolves, who even though they have packs, their packs don't grow nearly as large as they used to. And then also it's just the interaction. Like if you really have seen wolves in the wild, there's times where they aren't just all in the big family, the big pack, sitting around each other, lounging around. Oftentimes you'll find this wolf is over here within the territory. This wolf is over here within the territory. They're all the same pack, but they split off like, oh, this is a duo. This one's fucking running Sigma. I think it's funny that I used the word Sigma, how it was supposed to be used, how it's intended, yet it gets memed. So sad. Look at the birdum. A birdum. Anyway, fucking weird. It's funny though, because they were laughing at the vegans for crying. And then I showed them that and they literally started crying. I showed them the videos of dogs and cats in fucking little cages at literal meat markets next to like cows and bats and goats. Llama, alpaca. You're okay with eating all that. Bruh, you're okay with them eating kangaroos. How the fuck is a kangaroo any less of a dog than an actual dog? If anything, most of these docile herbivores would be more likely to be your tame friend or pet as opposed to a literal fucking canine. It's a carnivore. Bruh. It's not like herbivores can't be territorial, but all animals are territorial to some extent. Even your little bunny will be territorial in your own house. You brought that fucker into your house and it will make territorial disputes with you within your own house because you gave it that space. Now that space is its. It's theirs. It's. Anyway, I think that you can completely understand what I'm saying. I'm just going to conclude it by hitting you with the objective or just the overall what this video is embodying. Why is it that you people in the West, why is it that us, we like humanize our pets? We personify them. And so we really do say it's objectively unethical and immoral to farm and eat dogs. Look at the perfect example, 2024, perfect example, Haitians eating cats and dogs. The immigrants. We say they were, we say they weren't. It was a big argument. It was references to their legitimate culture going back. It was racist. It wasn't racist because it was true. Whatever you think about it, it was still there, and it was prevalent because of the idea that they were eating pets, and people are upset that you're eating, air quotations, pets. Cows are pets too. So many people have pet cows. Not so many people farm cows to be consumed, but that doesn't mean people don't have them as pets. And as far as the objectivity of ethics, ethiology, it's nonsensical that in the US you can farm gators, kangaroo, ostrich. You could farm all types of deer, all types of bovine, all types of cattle, lamb, sheep, goat, so many different species within just these simple names that I'm listing. But you can't farm something like dogs for consumption. It doesn't make sense. I have a dog. I just dropped a video of me teaching her to give me paw. It's like a minute long video, and it was uploaded like yesterday or 2 days ago. I love Inu. Look, I love little Neko-chan, my bestest friend. If she wasn't comfortable with me, she wouldn't let me hold her like this, and she would scratch me. Obviously, she respects me, I respect her. Didn't even put up a dispute. No meow, none of that. Because she knows, oh, he's picking me up. He's going to let me down if I tell him I want down. Definitely not an animal abuser here. Isn't it funny how triggered people get? Like, they say they hate vegans. They say they don't like vegans. They say they'll never understand the sentiment that vegans express when they say don't eat these animals. But then once I questioned their ideology or their own personal sentiment, opinions about this, once you call it into question, isn't it fucking hilarious how outraged and triggered they become? Almost like they're the fucking vegans out there. Isn't it literally so funny? Like, I don't know, man. It's just hilarious to me. And it's just because they don't want to accept the reality, which is that all those things that they're eating have the same sentience and consciousness as them, the same as a human. They're learning, they're having a lived experience, and they're learning from the things that they encounter all around them. They have their 5 senses, and they're learning, encountering things, or as each other. If you're not going to say that the cow's on the level of a human, you can't say that the dog and the cat are. You can't save them from the culling, from the fell. They're going to be consumed. I'm going to eat your dog. I'm going to eat your cat.